Hello again, fellow friends, and welcome back to me kind of reacting to the Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer. I say kind of reacting because I've already seen it, so it's not going to be a live first-time reaction, but I saw it, and, you know, I've got some things to say. Nothing too crazy, but let's just jump right into it. So, got the Red Dead Redemption 2 official gameplay video. In fact, before we jump straight into it, I just need to say this, right? I fucking love Red Dead Redemption 1. I consider it the single player a perfect 10 out of 10, and I think it has some of the finest DLC ever made. And I and I named it as my second favorite GTA game of all time because it is a GTA game just in the Wild West. So I fucking love Red Dead Redemption. So, and I am certain I'm gonna love this because Rockstar don't really have a history of not improving their games when they make sequels. Kind of the opposite. So I'm not particularly impressed by this trailer. Not particularly impressed at all, but that is because I still think Batman vs Superman trailers and Watch Dogs trailers, because those trailers told me, trailers can't really be trusted. They make things look much better than they are. And also, let us not forget, right? When Rockstar released the trailers for GTA 5, specifically GTA Online, they mentioned all these things you could do, and one of those things you could do was tackle a heist with friends. And that wasn't in the game when it came out. It was a whole year after the game came out, by the time something that was in the gameplay trailer turned up in the game. So, right, based on history of trailers in general, and Rockstar's own trailers, I'm going to take everything in this trailer with a pinch of salt. If they, oh yeah, that looks awesome. Well, it might not be in the game at launch. Who knows, you know? And it might not be as good as they make it look, because they are trying to make everything look as good as they can. Obviously, it's a trailer, aka an advert. So with that said, let's ganderize the trailer, shall we? I've got a few more things to say on the subject.
They'll probably hang you, buddy.
Boom! Right, so that's probably Dutch. I don't know. I don't know what Dutch looks like. I saw him in the first Red Dead Redemption, and I'm not entirely sure if that is Dutch, but that's obviously a member of the gang, and you play as Arthur Morgan, I think his name is. Disappointed. I wanted to play as John Marston, but I think we kind of got the idea a trailer or two ago that we weren't going to be John Marston, but he is going to be in the game because he's part of Dutch's gang. Lame that we don't get to play as him, though. We've got to play as some new guy who won't be able to live up to John Marston. He might. Probably won't.
In the late 1800s.
Right, so we've got the same style of trailer to the GTA ones that came out 5 years ago now. We've got some gameplay, and then you've got the female narrator. It's probably even the same woman doing the voiceover, which immediately makes me think of that trailer where they said tackle a heist, and then you couldn't tackle a heist for a year. Just makes me think of that. So immediately, not off to a great start. I just want you to know, though, that these things are all going to be petty grievances. And like I say, I'm certain the game's going to be amazing. And another thing, they say that the gameplay was all captured from in-engine graphics. They don't say it was captured on a PlayStation or an Xbox. They say captured in-engine. So for all we know, it could be running on a PC, just in-engine. But what I think is that if they captured it off one of the consoles, let's face it, it's probably going to be PlayStation, because they just tend to do that sort of thing. They tend to favor the PlayStation. I don't know, maybe it's got better graphics. I don't fucking know, but that's what they tend to do. If they did use a PS4 to capture it, then they are undoubtedly using a PS4 Pro, which I don't have. So immediately, my mind is like, well, at first, I didn't think the graphics were all that amazing. Everyone else was like, oh, these graphics are amazing. And I was like, let me play this video. And I was like, you know, they look pretty good. But then I went back to look at, look at that train, like, on the right there, the train carriage, it doesn't look particularly good. The backgrounds are nice. But I went back to see Red Dead Redemption 1 gameplay, and yeah, these graphics are much improved. But it's been 8 years. Are they 8 years improved? They're pretty good still. Like I said, I wasn't particularly impressed by the graphics, but I've gone back and I've watched this trailer again in detail, and I'm like, okay, like that. Yeah, that's pretty good graphics. Not mind-blowing. It's basically what I would expect. And I don't think my version will look like this because I don't have a PS4 Pro. Like that is a beautiful vista.
That's not simply open, but deeper.
So they want to make an open world that's not only open but deeper. pretty sure every company that's ever made an open world game has said something along those lines. I do like the way his clothes get dirty when he rolls in the mud, though. That's cool. Seems like it should be a basic feature in today's age, but it's pretty cool to see.
More interactive and detailed than ever.
And then the fighting, yeah, the fighting was pretty basic in the first game, so it wouldn't be hard to improve it.
Storytelling.
Those snow effects are really good, I will admit. One thing I've noticed with this game is that in a lot of places, in a lot of the shots they show, there's loads of mist. Like, the air is just thick with mist. Like, not there, but even, there's a little bit there. But there's, in a lot of the shots in this trailer, there's just mist everywhere, and it's like, is that what it's like in America? It's just misty all the time? Like that, look how much mist there is. That's just kind of weird. It reminds me of Fallout. It's weird.
Pivotal moment when the age of outlaws was ending and the modern world was born.
So it's capturing the period where the Wild West was ending and the modern age was born. So exactly the same as Red Dead Redemption 1 then. Got it.
There is a huge world to explore, set across a range of America's heartland and frontier. From harsh mountain trails.
I love those crepuscular rays coming from the clouds that like these big wide vista shots are really good and very much improved over Red Dead Redemption 1, because I remember thinking the wide open spaces and vistas and things in Red Dead Redemption 1 were really good, but you look at them now, I mean, even back then the skyboxes did seem like they seemed like they were a skin wrapped around the sky, which is what they were, and that is what these are, except these ones just look, that looks way more realistic. It doesn't look like a 2D image wrapped around a sphere like they did in Red Dead Redemption 1, so that is a huge improvement.
And dense forests.
Again, loads of crepuscular rays, lots of mist.
To untamed swamplands and sweeping
swamps.
desert.
See, that's cool. That reminds me of more of Red Dead Redemption 1.
Rugged livestock towns.
Right, from now on, I'm just going to call it Red Dead 1, and I know Red Dead Revolver is Red Dead 1, but no one cares. No one talks about Red Dead Revolver, so I'm just going to say Red Dead 1, and I mean Red Dead Redemption 1. Got it, okay.
To modernizing cities.
They got some electricity in this city here. Seems kind of cool. I don't recall seeing any electricity in the cities in Red Dead 1. I thought Red Dead 1... Well, Red Dead 1 is set after this, so it's kind of weird, but it'll be interesting to see how civilized these cities are.
With a diverse
Again, more mist.
From turn-of-the-century life.
Don't zap yourself.
Please. I'm waiting for someone interesting to turn up.
Right, I hope when she says that you have the option to shoot her. I hope you have the option. I almost said it's GTA. It's Red Dead, so you probably will have the option. Again, more mist.
Play as Arthur Morgan.
The detail on the ground is pretty good. Like the way footsteps and tracks happen in this game is really good. I think you left tracks in the first game, but obviously like that game was 8 years old. The more I look at this trailer, the more I go, okay, yeah, these graphics are pretty fucking good. To be fair, for an open world game, they're pretty good. I wasn't impressed to begin with, but the more I look at it, the more I'm like, they're pretty detailed.
A trusted senior gun in the Vanderling gang. A band of outlaws and outcasts on...
Look, John Marston. And I believe the guy we just saw was Dutch. Look at the mane on that horse. That's bad. That's actually bad graphics on that mane. That really is. But there we go.
the run from the pressures of civilized life.
We're gonna borrow a little money from old Uncle Sam and be out of his hair.
This is another thing as well. So in this game, you're just a bad guy, aren't you? Because you're part of an outlaw gang. And like they say, oh, you know, you can be good or you could be bad. Yeah, but you're still a criminal. You're just an outright criminal. At least in Red Dead Redemption 1, you used to be a criminal and you're redeeming yourself. How do you redeem yourself in this game? It remains to be seen.
Once and for all.
Not sure about this whole pick
They're
up
forced to
sticks
flee an area.
business.
The gang sets up a camp as a base. This is where gang members eat, sleep, perform chores, play games.
Eat, sleep, and perform chores. Sounds fun. But poker, though. Ugh, the poker in Red Dead Redemption 1. And I know I said I'd call it Red Dead 1, but it's just habit calling it Red Dead Redemption 1. The poker in that game is so good. It's the best poker I've ever played in a game. And I have played games that are just poker. It's awesome. So I'm glad to see that back. Hopefully it's just as good. I mean, it's poker. You know, how could you get it wrong?
And share stories.
Anyway, I got caught by some hill country sheriff stealing a chicken, I think it was.
Yeah, so you can listen to them tell stories, and I wonder how many of these stories there are, and how quickly they begin to repeat and you get tired of them. I wonder how long that happens.
And he decided I was going to be hanged for it.
These are the people Arthur calls family, and you will get to know each gang member over the course of the game.
I get a very Far Cry 5 vibe from all of this.
Silly bastard's life, then you and him go robbing sheep.
Helping the camp with food and supplies will keep morale high, while spending time with other gang members can reveal new secrets.
Hooray! Keeping morale high at the camp. Sounds like settlements in Fallout 4. Yay, everyone's favourite part of Fallout 4. This is me, just like, my initial reactions. It could be awesome. You could come back to me 6 months from now and I'll be like, I love keeping the morale high in Red Dead Redemption. But I might not. I'm just thinking, ooh, a camp. I don't want that. But it could be good.
Fun things to do, an opportunity.
Yeah, define fun things to do, because if walking up, like, because they're showing him drinking here, that's like clearly some sort of cutscene, but if it's anything like Red Dead Redemption 1, it'll just be, well, it'll be improved greatly, I'm sure, but when they say fun things to do they mean walking up to a bar and pressing right on the D-pad and then drinking? Do they count that as a fun thing to do?
For mischief.
How about you and me go and redistribute some property?
In and out of camp, the world is alive and
They're showing well, I was going to say a sizable portion. They've only shown 2 shots so far of him walking his horse. Why would you ever do that? I mean, in the first shot, he was walking through a swamp, so I guess maybe the horse couldn't walk through the swamp if he was on it. I don't know. But why would you... I can't think of a situation in the game where you would get off your horse and walk it. It's like when you see gameplay trailers of people playing games and they're like walking slowly through the environment, like looking at it like this, like all cinematic, and it's like people don't play games that way. They would just go quickly. So this is, maybe there's some sort of mechanic, like when your horse is proper tired you have to get off and walk. I doubt it. Maybe they're just doing it because it looks pretty. Again, loads more mist and crepuscularness. I don't know if crepuscularness is a word, but it is now.
responds to the player.
Well, ain't this a rare treat?
I'm really interested in that, in the world responding to the player, because I love Skyrim, I love Oblivion and all that sort of thing, but you know what I don't like? I don't like saving the world in Skyrim and then walking around and then having kids go, I thought adventurers were supposed to look tough. It's like, fuck you, I saved the world. Acknowledge that. Like, I want people to acknowledge the things you do. I want the things you do to actually have an impact with the world, or at the very least, the people who inhabit that world. And this bit, for all I know, this could just be a cutscene, but they're making it out like you just turn up at this house and she's like, oh, I've heard of you, you're the criminal. And I see some stuff in the corner. You've got aim weapon, you've got greet, antagonize, and stranger? Strangle? It looks like stranger. Maybe you, I mean, aim weapon. I like the way aim weapon and antagonize are 2 different things. Greet and stranger. I guess stranger is like maybe just sort of not making friends with them, you know, keeping your cards close to your chest, just being like, I got nothing to say to you, let's move along.
And your guns aren't the only way to interact with the environment.
Booyah! Cat.
Call out to a passing rider.
That's a nice horse.
Talk your...
Call out to a passing rider. So you're riding along, and then you just go, that's a nice horse, and then you carry on going. Fun mechanic? I don't know. But I like the way you've also got the options of just, like, you can... I mean, can you aim weapon, greet, antagonize, or stranger, whatever it is, with everyone you meet out in the open world? Because that's kind of cool. It looks like you can. That's cool. So you're just riding along, you just, like, antagonize someone as you ride past them. See, I'm on board with that. More interaction with the world, making it feel more alive.
Out of trouble with the town sheriff.
And less dead, like a lot of open worlds are. Far Cry 5. I mean, Far Cry 5 is a great game, but it's not like you can just be wandering around and just have a... I mean, I don't know. You can talk to people out in the wild, but it's more like just random pointless lines that don't go anywhere. I don't know. I just want more... I want to do more than just be able to go hello as I walk past people. I want to be able to do more than that. And it looks like you might be able to in this game. And I like this. So he's wanted, and he's interrogating him, and he's like, you know, trying to defuse the situation. I like that. That's cool.
Or intimidate a witness into silence.
Also, this is what I don't
And
get.
more.
It says witness unarmed assault, right? So it seems like they're trying to make out. See, because I thought this was like a mission, like the mission, like in GTA, you know, scare the witness into being quiet, that sort of thing. But it looks like this is just you've committed a crime, oh, someone saw it, and then you can scare them into being quiet. Which raises the question: why don't you just shoot them, and then they can't possibly tell anyone? That's what I used to do in the first game. If you commit a crime and there's a witness, you're just like, bang, no witnesses, problem solved. So, seems weird that you would, instead of doing that, jump on someone and start beating them like this. I'd like to see the motivation behind silencing them this way instead of just shooting them.
Your mouth shut. You're dead, friend.
You did, friend.
You don't want to involve yourself with
I like this.
Confrontations can be escalated or diffused.
Take it easy. Do what you want. I don't care.
You can
I like that, because in the first Red Dead, you know, you're constantly coming across people who are under ambush by bandits, or people who need help, that sort of thing. That's one thing that I loved about Red Dead, that I don't recall, I mean, you do get some of that in GTA 5, like there's the strangers and freaks and that sort of thing, but I do love it in Red Dead. You can just be riding along and you're like, what the fuck, that person's being hanged over there, and then you go save him, you like shoot the rope and then kill all the bad guys and shit. Just the random events that happen in the world, that was good, and it seems like they're bringing them back here, and now they've got more options, so it's not just a case of, hey look, this guy's robbing this guy, I'm gonna kill that guy and save this guy. You can just choose to be like, nah, carry on, none of my business, friend. Like, this is good. I like this extra level of interactivity with the folks who inhabit this world. It's a beautiful thing.
form friendships
God, you did it.
or make enemies as you choose.
You killed my cousin, you sick son of a bitch!
Shoot her.
Your actions
She's like, you killed my cousin, and now I'll kill you. Like, they give you the option to do that. It's all good.
have consequences.
See, she said your actions have consequences, and he's like, oh, I got the option to save this guy
And it's
or
up to
or
you
let
to
him die.
decide just how honorable Arthur is.
And that reminds me.
Killed you.
That reminds me of GTA 4, where, I mean, there is literally a part in GTA 4 where there's a guy hanging off a ledge, kind of like that, and you have the option to save him or let him die. And it doesn't make a fuck a difference, whichever one you choose. You still end up having to kill Vlad or whatever. So I'm like, it's all well and good, giving us the options to kill people or save people and all this business, but when you say there's consequences, make there be consequences. Don't just be another game where it doesn't really matter what you do, the same shit's gonna happen. Don't do that. Live up to your promises.
Shooting and firing
Tackle that
have both
motherfucker.
been radically improved to make combat
They say,
deep.
see the hand-to-hand combat has clearly been greatly improved, because in Red Dead Redemption it was just really basic, like even more basic than it is in GTA 5. But they say the shooting combat is greatly improved as well. I haven't seen any improvements to the combat yet, unless simply pulling your gun out automatically activates Deadeye, but I don't think it does. Maybe I'm missing something, but the gunplay in this looks exactly the same as it did in the first Red Dead, so maybe I'm missing something.
Engaging at all times.
See, that's
Each
good.
weapon
Block, block,
has
block.
unique
Boom.
characteristics, with realistic reload and recoil.
With realistic reload and recoil. If you call speed reloading realistic, I mean, I guess speed reloading does exist. But I mean, I don't know. I guess I wouldn't have thought. When I think speed reloading, I think of like shooting competitions in the modern age. I don't think people in the 1800s doing like speed reloading like you do in so many games. It just seemed kind of odd. And realistic recoil, that sounds like it won't be fun. But we'll see. This is all. It's impossible for them to like tell us what this feels like. You have to feel it for yourself, which I will when I buy this game. Like, you know, I'm being kind of negative about this. Well, I'm not being negative. I'm just not being impressed. It's as simple as that. Because I think my ability to be impressed by trailers has been killed by trailers that fucked me over and said, "Look at this, it's going to be amazing," and then you actually see it or play it, and you're like, "Oh, it's nothing like what the trailer said it was going to be."
That always keeps the player.
I mean, that was a shotgun. Like, realistic recoil. He had a shotgun and he goes... I've never fired a shotgun, but I'm pretty sure they recoil more than that.
Grounded and connected to the action in a gunfight.
See, this gunplay, other than the fact he just changed weapons without apparently opening up a weapon wheel, the combat doesn't seem any different. Now, I'm wondering, they didn't show a weapon wheel, and they were talking about how your horse carries more weapons and things. So I'm wondering if they've gotten rid of the weapon wheel and now you just have, you know, you got your pistol and then you got your other weapon, like your shotgun or your rifle or something like that. I'm wondering, because then you can just swap between them without opening up a weapon wheel. I wonder if that's what they're going for.
In a similar way, the bond with your horse is crucial and changes based on your treatment of the animal.
Hold still, girl.
Hooray! So we have to, like, brush them and shit. Otherwise they'll be crap. I don't know. Again, this is a thing that I know nothing about. You know, you got to raise your bond with your horse. And they go on to say, well, we'll get to that point. But I want to know how much of my time is going to be spent trying to maintain the happiness of this horse and trying to maintain the happiness of the people at my camp, rather than just going around doing whatever I want. I'm a bit concerned at how much of the game is going to be devoted to doing tedious menial tasks. I mean, it might just be a case of walking up to the horse and pressing X, and then he does the animation, and it's like, your horse is happy today. But it's like, how often do you have to do that? I don't know. I prefer just getting on a horse and going, this is my horse, let's do this.
Some breeds are better suited for certain tasks.
I got a fella been looking.
So you need a big sturdy horse for big sturdy work, and you need a
Saddle
fast
and
horse for
saddlebags
fast
can
work.
store extra weapons,
See, your saddle and saddlebags can store extra weapons.
along with supplies and animal carcasses that you pick up while...
So, I don't recall there being an inventory limit, a capacity for how much you could hold in the first game. There might have been, but I don't recall there being one. In this game, it looks like you can kill one animal, and instead of going up to it and going, okay, I've got the meat in the skin, let's go, you have to put it on your horse and then what? Carry it around with you all day until you get back to the camp? That doesn't seem great. And, like, with your horse gets to carry additional weapons, is that because you can only carry 2, like I'm theorizing? Because before, you could carry all your weapons on you, you just had a weapon wheel, but now your horse lets you carry extra weapons, and lets you carry carcasses and shit. I'm beginning to think they're limiting what you can carry. Always fun?
all out roaming or hunting. Over time, the bond between you and your horse will grow, making them easier to control in tense situations.
Right, so until your bond is high with your horse, they're going to be difficult to control during tense situations? Fun mechanic? They just keep adding stuff that sounds like... It sounds like they're just throwing stuff into the game to just make it go, look how much stuff we got. Look, you now interact with your horse, and, like, your horse now carries things. Yeah, but that doesn't... On the face of the minimal information I've been given from this trailer, sounds like a bad thing. Oh, and your horse is, like... When you raise your bond with your horse high enough, it'll do what you want. Oh, great, so it won't do what I want when my bond isn't high enough with it? That sounds annoying. You know, it's just these... Kind of sounds like fluff mechanics. Just, oh, look at all the different things we got in our game. But when you sit down and look at them, you're like, yeah, but should that be in the game, though? I don't know. More realistic? Yes. More fun? Questionable.
Yeah, he's a great horse, aside from when the devils got him.
Is that... I wonder if that's that guy... It probably won't be, but I wonder if that's that guy who was the guide... When in Red Dead 1, when you first go to Armadillo, and that guide takes you up to Bill Williamson's fort, and then you get shot, and then you wake up at, the McFarlane Ranch, and that guy is like, I'm not going to do his voice, but the guide, was that the guide? Who knows? See, look, the horse is trying to buck him off. Is that, like, I have visions of that happening while I'm trying to shoot people on the back of my horse, and the horse just starts going, wait, your bond isn't high enough, fuck off. That's what I'm worried about. Moose! More mist as well, more mist, all about the mist.
Great ecosystem thrives in the world, full of predators.
I like that. That was actually, I didn't notice that before. That's really cool. Let me just see it again. Like, I think, when the crocodile or whatever, or gator or whatever... When it turned around and went rawr at the horse, it looked like the horse was like, whoa, easy fella, and it kind of shot itself a little bit.
Thrives in the world, full of predators.
It did, but I can't tell if that was the horse or the player moving the horse away for cinematic effect. Can't tell.
Prey and scavengers, all smart and sometimes deadly.
Bears and wolves, let's kill them.
Show you how we hunt one.
Again, hunting with bows and arrows. You have guns! You have guns! Why would you use a bow and arrow? Why does every game that features hunting have to have a bow and arrow in it? It's like, guns exist. And I know in real life bow hunting is better because it's less damage to the animal. But that's like, it's less damage to the meat, which is what you want. You want less damage to the meat. But it's less damage to the head as well in case you want to mount it. I can't imagine mounting a head in this game. Maybe you can, but I can't see that you would. So why would you use the bow and arrow? Why would you not just get your rifle out and go headshot? There's dinner. Using a bow and arrow. Listen to this. But again, I haven't done hunting in this game. It could be awesome. I'm just comparing it to pretty much every other game that's got hunting in it. It's kind of tedious when you just want to run up to stuff and kill it. Like, no, gotta use stealth, okay. And we all know stealth is really, really well developed in Grand Theft Auto games.
Camp or earns you money. Wound an animal and you'll have to track them down.
Wound an animal and you have to track it down. Another reason to use a gun. Shoot it in the head and watch it. And then you won't have to try and track it down, will you? You'll just go, it's dead. Bow and arrow, I don't know. See, again, this is just a thing they're adding to the game, and I'm like, is that going to be fun, though? I don't know. Maybe they're like, there's only so much you can add to the Wild West, and hunting has to be a big part of it, I guess. So he's carrying that carcass on the back of his horse. Like, yeah, can you only carry one at a time? Who knows?
Animal pelts and other items you find can be traded for cash to use at general stores, gunsmiths, saloons.
But is Herbert Moon going to be in it, though? You can't kill me. I'm Herbert Moon! That's a reference to the DLC when he gets eaten by zombies. Shortly after he reveals himself to be a racist. So it's kind of like, okay, you deserve it.
And elsewhere.
This is God's own country, and I feel I'm in purgatory.
This is a world that is
More
rich
mist.
in depth and detail.
Cleaning his gun, I like that. Wait, was that gore? I don't know if that was like a blood spraying or if it was just the wood behind the guy being chipped with the shot. I think it was wood.
All design.
Now this is a real fucking good example of the graphics. Look at those hills in the background. That is just great. It also looks like it's probably going to be on the PS4 Pro, so the one I play won't look like that. But that looks damn good. To quote Angry Joe, that look good. And the way the horse moves like this is super realistic because like if you've ever seen dressage, horses move like this.
On horseback.
Maybe not quite identically to that, but they do sort of like do the old sideways movement and shit like that. So, and you definitely couldn't do that in the first game. In the first game, it was either you move forward and left and right while you're going forward, or you're stationary and you turn left and right, or you go really slowly backwards. It looks like on this you can like move, laterally and shit. So that looks good. The horse riding in Red Dead Redemption 1 remains probably the best horse riding I've seen in a game, and I can only assume that they are improving it greatly in this, despite the fact that the horse won't always do what you tell it to at the beginning, but, we'll see how much of an impact that has on the game.
Or on foot. As you live the fateful journey
Wanted.
of a gang of outlaws on the run across America.
Just turn around and kill him.
In the next gameplay video, we'll look at missions, activities.
Looking at missions. Sweet. Looking at activities. Yay, fishing. Like, again, there's only so much you can put in the Wild West games because, it's not like a sci-fi fantasy game where you can just make shit up. You've got to do... What did people do back then? I guess they fished a lot. But, like, it's fishing. I've done fishing mini games in so many games, and I've played fishing games, and they're all boring as fuck. Just as I imagine actual fishing to be. Just boring and largely unrewarding. But, again, it remains to be seen. Maybe this will be the first game that makes fishing mini games not boring. Unlikely, though.
Enemy gangs.
More mist, but yeah, enemy gangs. I mean, I guess... Are they going to be like the real villains to make your gang look like they're not so much villains? Make your gang look like the Robin Hood of gangs or whatever? I don't know, this is all speculation. Capped. I like the way she, boom, shoots him in the head and she goes, robberies? That's fucking murder.
Things to do, and much more, including the evolution of sharpshooting, using the Deadeye system.
Yeah, it looks identical to the Deadeye system in the first game, though. So how can you call it the evolution of sharpshooting? Hopefully they're going to show more and they'll go, this is exactly what we've improved. But tell me how that doesn't look exactly like the Deadeye in the first game. Cat. I did love Deadeye though, it was awesome. So, October 26th. Fucking hell, it just keeps getting pushed back further and further. It was meant to be, well, it's a Rockstar game. They always delay their games, but goddamn, October. The end of October as well. Jesus. Okay, a couple of months still. We've got PS4, Xbox One. It doesn't say anything about PC, but they'll probably release a PC version a year after this version so they can get everyone's money twice, just like they did with GTA 5. This video was captured entirely from in-game footage. Yeah, but you don't tell us what hardware it is running on. So it's kind of pointless telling us that. Cutscenes. CGI cutscenes are in-game footage, technically. Actually, no. That's a stupid thing to say, because by definition, they're not. CGI cutscenes aren't really a thing anymore. Back in the day, like on the PS1, it was like, you'd play the game with its shitty graphics, especially Final Fantasy, and then you'd get to this awesome CGI cutscene, you're like, wow. And then as games machines got more powerful, they just phased out CGI cutscenes, and they were just like, look, the graphics are good enough now, let's just make the cutscenes look like the graphics. Is there anything else at the end of this trailer? No. So there we go. I'm going to hit a key now and hope it does what I think it's going to do. Did it do it? It did. Okay, excellent. So yeah, there's my reaction to the Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer. I'm greatly looking forward to it. The trailer did not increase my excitement at all, because I like I said, I think trailers just can't increase my excitement anymore. Either I'm already excited for something, or I'm not. Watching that trailer didn't show me anything that made me go, wow. I'll tell you what that trailer did. It showed me exactly what I expected. I was like, okay, so looking at the way Rockstar does things, when they make a sequel to a game, it's usually more of the same but bigger and better, because that's what a good sequel should be, right? More of the same but bigger and better. Look at GTA 3. Then you look at Vice City. Vice City's just GTA 3, but bigger and better. San Andreas, it's just Vice City, but bigger and better. And GTA 4, they just like rewrote everything, and then GTA 5 is GTA 4, but bigger and better. That's what Rockstar do. So they've had I was going to say they've had 8 years to make this. That's not true. It has been 8 years since the first Red Dead Redemption game, and this looks like it's exactly what I expected it to be. More of the same, but bigger and better. And that's a good thing, but I didn't see anything in that trailer that made me go, oh, it's amazing, oh my god, I must absolutely, like, jack off to this game. No. It just looked like Red Dead Redemption, but bigger and better. Which is what we want, isn't it? Red Dead Redemption was amazing. So, let me do this. So, yeah, I think that's it. How long have I been going? It's a mystery. No, 32 minutes. Not bad, not bad. So I'll wrap it up here. I will say, thank you for watching, and look forward to a lot of Red Dead Redemption videos, Red Dead Redemption 2 videos on my channel when it comes out. Look forward to that. Okay. Get off me, George. Peace.